Hey folks, how's it going? Happy Monday, welcome back for the new week. Hope everyone's had a decent weekend and back in high spirits basically. So I am doing this basically the normal daily briefing at this time because our head of trading Tim is on holiday today. It's an Irish bank holiday, so let's not try and dawdle too much and just get like straight to it, I reckon. Okay. First of all, we have obviously, it's all over on Bloomberg and all these things. Equities back in the fray. So let's just look at technicals really. In terms of data, not a lot today. Um, and we do have a couple of things working for towards latter part of the week, but I'm not going to touch that now. Everything's all in my notes pretty much. So on the S&P, we are looking at, I mean, as far as technicals go, pretty clean stuff. Very clear lines and sands. So this has been here for a while now. So if you can't hold around the 40, 80s there and thereabouts, so pretty much within the 4,100 for the 100 inflection point over here, seemingly like this is the basically the value area at this point. So 4,000, 4,100 to 4,200, looking at this to act as resistance before pushing further if we do head further. And what would potentially push this, obviously, data and all these things. But before I get to that, okay, so clear lines in sand. So if you can't hold this, then I would want to wait for it to actually retest 4,000 over here. The last time that this sort of like, look at that, like tried to break 2 days in a row, just all this excess over here, and then just pulls back, retest the 3,900 handle before pushing back through. Very concerted, very defined stuff. So retest of the 4,000 handle, definitely something to keep an eye. If not, then I would want to be looking at 3,900 and a retest of this prior resistance trend line that broke a couple of weeks back, 3 weeks back, something like that. So still looking at equity, the equity picture, similar picture here on the Dow. I would want to see this prior, basically the initial 2022 lows to hold over here. We have tried today, dipped below just for a bit there, and it does make sense to actually just have that as a bit of a basically an area to look at. So 3,000, 32,700, the open at today's electronic open 827s, you know, I would want to get long on pullbacks, preferably 32,500, but if we hold, it might be a bit messy holding the 32,000, 32,700 over here. Might get a bit messy. There might be a bit excess before buyers then start to really, before sellers capitulate and say, okay, you know what, you guys win. We'll bring this all the way up to 32,900, 33,000 handle before a retest of the 333, sorry, 33,300 level over here, which was a prior gap up before, like very messy stuff. Do note this is a daily chart, daily futures chart, so this is not that it didn't get traded. It's just like volume at that point, front month futures. So on the Nasdaq, I'm not going to touch the Nasdaq, but we are in a way very tech led. So because we did get 75 basis point, and there's this rumor that we might get an actual rate cut in Q1 next year. So if that happens, all that fear mongering that's basically hit tech stocks and the positivity from big names like Alphabet, Microsoft, saying that okay, even if we do hit a recession, it'll be fine. We'll be fine. We can handle it. So that's that. So if they're positive, so no reason for a lot of people to panic, basically. which is why we are seeing a tech-led rally, in a nutshell. So that is that one thing. Okay, so going back to what do I need to see for this to continue to go is if this here breaks through. So I am looking for the Dixie. I do want to see the Dixie go for that test of 105s, because if it doesn't, then I would think, okay, we still haven't done that. So there's that real possibility that we are still going to try and go for that test, right? Needing to see that buyers do come in and support this prior support trend line over here to before continue further, right? Unless we reclaim 106s and then holds and trades back above, then I wouldn't be looking at that 105's test this week, to be honest. Because at the same time, the euro's having a pretty tough time. I shared this in the room this morning because it's just too perfect. It's just absolutely wonderful, wonderful stuff. Very clear technicals on the yen here, with the Dixie just having a bit of a hard time. So, which is why I want to see the test. I want to see this test happen. Preferably, we head further up, try to go for that for this prior inflection point, inflection level to get retested. Maybe just go for a bit and then see some rejection going on there or some like clear profit taking before going for that short. And then very clear profit taking levels. One here. This is more of a, I would think, what do you call it, like a swing trade, swing FX trade. Pretty similar stuff on the, not similar stuff, but more in terms of clear technicals. So this is the Aussie chart. Look at that, just absolutely brilliant. So would I short from this level? Again, the Dixie. If I were to short from this level, I keep a really close eye on the Dixie that it doesn't break below 105s. But if the Dixie does go for that test and the Aussie doesn't continue further, right, it does tell me that a lot of people are actually might be looking at this level as a place to look at that. Look at this, like excess, very clear wick over there. One wick huge, second wick push down, another wick trying to test above there, getting tripping up some orders before hopefully putting back. So we'll see how it goes. But if you're looking for confirmation in terms of like, okay, where can I get confirmed a break of this support trend line? Mind you, these are daily bars, so a break of this, retest of this inflection over here, bam, bam, boom, short. You target one, target two, before potentially flipping, because a break of this, we might be looking at a retest of this break here, right? Might get one, two, retest, flip. Really nice stuff considering where the Dixie is. Even if it breaks for a while, we might see a retest of like what 103.5s, maybe the 103s, just for safety, just for the lols. I'm not going to look at the euro really, but it's a headache. It's an absolute headache. So that is, what I would be looking at if I were trying to like get short on this Aussie market, because this is a big, big level. I do want to see, sellers or buyers take control and correlations work out at the same time. Because in the end, the dollar at this point is still king. What the dollar does matters so much in terms of daily, price ranges and where prices might go. So that is about it. We are seeing some what you call this, some weakness in the crude complex, and this is because manufacturing and services numbers out of China came in shocked on the downside. It's like came in just a lot lighter than expected. Hence, people are thinking, okay, we do need China. I've been speaking about this as well. Like we do need China to kind of really put, because they've been trying to prop up the economy, but it's one thing after another, and with the lockdowns and everything, so demand is kind of drying up. And I just heard the Citi global head of global commodities head of research speaking early on Bloomberg, saying he doesn't see demand growing in Europe. despite the entire thing that's going on over there. And yeah, so the demand picture is pretty weak, which is why we're seeing this but at the same time, we don't have enough of this stuff. So there's a two-way argument that can be formed on this. So I've just helped. It's a bit of a long one, just trying to go a bit further into the technicals and the macros that potentially could be pertinent to run through before you put these trades on. Something that I learned from my mentors previously at Amplify. You need at least two technical reasons and one fundamental for any trade to be at least viable. And that is just to put on and not even trade management. Anyways, for more stuff, head over to our Discord. We are doing a free 1 month trial at the moment. So feel free, join, hit me up in there, ask any questions you want, and I will see you guys soon as read with the daily briefing. Cheers.